you, right? And so what happens is when a person gaslights, what they do is try to make you believe you are crazy. Both of you guys were in the same place, but they are changing the reality and the details of that particular event, or the person that was there, or thing that was there, or the place where you went to. Any person, place, thing, and or idea, right? Any of those different things, this person is attacking to make you think that you are crazy. We're so used to having gaslighting by words, but people often gaslight with their actions, and or they do a combination of gaslighting by words and by actions. And I'm going to give you an example. Say, for instance, you work for the Sunday school department. You volunteer. And you've been late 4 or 5 Sundays in a row. And so then the superintendent of Sunday school, who is a narcissist, comes to you and says, and this is a covert narcissist, a covert Christian narcissist, of course, right? And they come to you and they say to you, you know what, Sister Johnson, you have been late 4 Sundays for your volunteer shifts. 4 Sundays in a row, you have been late. And then you say, well, Brother Daniels, in all due respect, I have told you before. We've gone over this over and over again, and you okayed the fact that I am taking care of my ailing mother and that I'm allowed to come in 15 minutes after we have our overall grouping together and praying and all of that. You've already set that up with me. I can come in at 8:15 every Sunday. What does Brother Daniels do? He still goes on and says, every week you've been here 15 minutes late, and that's the time you're supposed to be here. So that's gaslighting, because what? They've already discussed the fact that she was taking care of her ailing mother. They've already discussed the fact that she's coming in late. They already discussed a solution for it. Now he goes and pretends like they never had that discussion, right? So then, to take it even further, Brother Daniels tells Sister Davis, you know what? This is what's going to happen, Sister Johnson or Sister Davis, whichever one you want it to be in this situation. You are going to take a 4-week sabbatical from church. No, you know what? Instead of it being from the whole church, because of course, narcissists want to keep up appearances, right? It's all about that impression management. This is what you're going to do. You're going to take a 4-week sabbatical from helping out in the Sunday school department. And then maybe after those 4 weeks, then you can get a clue on what's supposed to be done here in the department. But mind you, you guys had already set up the fact that you were going to come in 15 minutes late after they had the gathering, right? And the prayer and all of that. Never mind that, right? He's on a roll. So you say, okay, Brother Daniels, I'm going to go ahead and take the 4-week sabbatical. So next thing you know, Brother Daniels sees you outside of the morning service with Sister Davis, or if you're a Sister Johnson, what happened to you? You were supposed to show up for Sunday school volunteering service. You haven't been in the Sunday school for 4 Sundays in a row. That's gaslighting. So you stand there, you try to think, man, am I just so tired? Do I have so much going on in my mind that I absolutely missed what it was that he said? No, you don't. This is gaslighting at its finest. This is to mess with you and make you think that you're losing your mind. This is emotional abuse at its finest, right? Example number 2 of gaslighting. When you are in the idealization phase of the narcissistic abuse cycle, and you are with that man and or with that woman, and then what happens is you're showered with all of these flowers and gifts, and you're hanging out all day long. You're getting 50 to 100 text messages a day, all of it, the whole 9 yards. You're getting songs written about you, poems written about you. You are composing music to the songs and poems that you've written. They've done the whole 9 yards, right? Every day hanging out all day, going to the show, all day going to the movies, right? This person's doing your schoolwork. You got all of this stuff, right? I mean, they just laying it on thick and flattery. You are the best thing since sliced bread, right? Okay. So then the idealization phase with the love bombing, that ends, right? That whole euphoria and your whole emotional and spiritual and physical system is all in an uproar, right? But you so caught up because of the gaslight, this energy, the love bombing energy, I meant to say, not the gaslighting energy, but the love bombing energy, that you don't realize there's something taking place that is just not right. Whenever you sit up there and idolize another human being and put them in a place that only God should be, something's not clicking right. Something's not right. So then you enter the second phase of the narcissistic abuse cycle. And the second phase of the narcissistic abuse cycle is the discard. The second phase of the narcissistic abuse cycle is the devalue phase. And when it comes to the devalue phase, that is the phase where you went from, you are no longer being flattered. You're no longer being given gifts. You're no longer getting all the flowers, going to the beach, getting the 50 to 100 text messages, emails, DMs on social media. You're no longer getting any of that, right? You're no longer getting all of the hugs and affection and kisses and all of that. None of that is going on. Holding hands, none of it. Everything you do is criticized. Everything you say is judged, is criticized. You're condemned. It's like this vicious cycle. Judge, criticize, condemn. Judge, criticize, condemn. Judge, criticize, condemn. And then every blue moon, you are thrown a little treat, a breadcrumb here and there. And that helps to seal in this trauma bond, right? And this soul tie with this individual. So then you start thinking to yourself, man, this is terrible. What happened to this person? What happened to this guy, this charming guy, right? What happened to me being put on a pedestal, right? And even though the energy felt off, that energy, that toxic energy of euphoria from being love bombed, even though that had you feeling a little bit off balance, you still would rather something than to be where you are, where you're being devalued and degraded and criticized every day. You and your mama and your grandmama and your great grandmama, all the kids in the family, you rather anything to go back to the love bombing than to deal with what it is you're in, right? Because in the devalue stage, it's like having a switch on the back of the computer. You flick it up, you're supposed to go ahead and praise and adore this individual, right? Like when Satan made the offer to Jesus in the wilderness, all this could be yours, right? It's like, if the price is right, basically all you got to do, he told him, is worship, to bow down and worship me. So that's what you go from being worshiped to all of a sudden, it's like you are given the responsibility of worshiping this individual back. So you're going back to that computer switch. You got to be worshiping them or either getting devalued, worshiping them or getting devalued, right? And so then you say, wait a minute, what is going on here? So then you approach your sweetheart. You know what, baby? I'm not sure. Something's not right here. Something, I don't know. I just feel like something's off. Well, baby, what you mean something's off? You got everything you can need. You got a big house. We got cars. We go on vacations 3-4 times a year. What you mean something off? You just being unappreciative. I go to work every day. I'm providing for you. No, baby, something's off. Something's off. Well, what you mean? Well, you know, months ago, like when we first met, we going to the movies all the time. You texting me, telling me you love me. You sending me emails. We holding hands. You hugging me. You kissing me. What's going on now? I don't get any of that, baby. What's going on, baby? Can you explain what's going on? Well, what are you talking about doing all of that? You know I'm not an affectionate person. What are you talking about? Then, the next thing you know, you have an event of that's one of your friends' events and or one of his friends' events. And he is going overboard, going to each and every female, hugging them, touching their hands, being affectionate with them, talking to them kindly, etc., etc., etc. So when you get home, you're feeling some kind of way. Who wouldn't feel some kind of way? So you say, you know what, honey? Baby, I just don't know. I don't feel good. You told me, first of all, we first met, all this was going on. And it went on for a while. And then after 6 months, it all stopped. And all you do is criticize me. And I mentioned that to you. And you told me you were never an affectionate person. So then what's going on if I saw you at Sheila's party? You and my friend, you hugged on her. Then you hugged up on her 3 friends. Then you hugged up on their 3 friends that came in the door. What's going on? Or if it was his friend. At Mike's party, you were hugging up with all of his friends, his wife's friends. I don't understand. Girl, what are you talking about? You just jealous, you oversensitive, you exaggerate and all of that. So it's just more gaslighting. That whole act itself was gaslighting. From the love bombing to the devalue stage. Because in the love bombing stage, you had all that attention. And then you go over to the devalue stage where that attention fell off. And then when you inquire about it, right, you confront the situation, none of that was taking place because this person, so to speak, is not an affectionate person. So think about it. That does a number on your psyche. It also does a number on your psyche to see this particular individual getting all other individuals, rather other women, getting all the attention that you wanted to have. And it leaves you feeling some kind of way. And then what happens over and over and over, this is just repeated behavior. And then all of a sudden what happens is that it starts to wear down on your self-esteem. It wears down on your self-worth. It wears down on your self-confidence. And you become a shell of who you were. Because what? You start believing what he said. Surely it's got to be something wrong with you is what you think. Because it could not be him. Right? If you see him hugging someone else, holding somebody else's hands, etc. Right? And then what happens to have even more of a head trip, you see him all of a sudden, him or her, being very affectionate with the children. It just doesn't add up. It's all to throw you off balance and to make you feel like you're going crazy.